This is a gray iPhone 15 Pro Max. The frame sides have minor scratches and bumps. According to the fan's description, charging has issues. We plugged in the charger directly. We discovered that there was a charging current, but the current was very small. It could light up the Apple logo. However, it couldn't fully boot. After the Apple logo stayed lit for a while, it would turn off. It would stop charging entirely, and it wouldn't restart or light up the Apple logo again. At that point, we noticed the back temperature was extremely high. It was incredibly hot to the touch. We also noticed that reinserting the charger would not light the Apple logo again, and the charging current remained very small. The phone kept getting hotter. We even tried a forced restart, but the Apple logo never reappeared. At this point, the back of the phone was already too hot to touch, so the fan just used the wrong charger. Why did it cause such severe consequences? Is it because the iPhone 15 series USB-C interface differs from Android and isn't compatible? Or is it because of the charger's power? Or another issue entirely? Quick question, what kind of phone do you have? And what problem are you facing? If this video helped you and taught you something, please comment, like, and share. Thank you for watching. It was a lot of work. We lift the screen slightly to make a prying gap. Use a plastic opening tool to slide around the screen edges. According to where the display flex cable is, we lift the screen. You'll notice marks on the back of the screen. Can you guess where those came from? First, let's protect the front Face ID module and the front camera. Unscrew the screws holding down the metal shield. Remove the metal shield. First disconnect the battery. Then disconnect the display touch sensor flex cable. Now you can remove the screen. Enlarging our view, we do see those impression marks on the screen's back. Next, let's inspect the chassis. For no power, overheating charging issue, we need to remove the logic board. The iPhone 15 Pro Max requires removing the earpiece. Here's the earpiece disconnected from all its flex connectors that go to the logic board. Then remove the several large screws holding the board. You can take out the logic board. Note, the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max logic boards have a wireless charging flex strip on the back. Be cautious. Now we've removed the board to inspect it. We check around the board for deformation. Any cracks between the layers? Since the phone won't power on and leaks heat, we connect a power meter. We found around 880 milliamperes leakage current when applying power. We placed the board under a thermal camera. We saw that only the lower half of the board was heating continuously. Examining the back, it was the same area, so the hot spot is inside the board. Because the iPhone 15 Pro Max has a 2-layer logic board, we removed foam and screws to separate the layers. We placed the board on a heating station to warm until the solder melted. Once melted, we separated the layers. On the lower layer, Wi-Fi, baseband, RF parts. On the upper layer, logic, CPU, audio, power, storage, and charging circuitry. To determine which layer had the issue, we applied power only to the upper layer. We saw the leakage was indeed from the upper layer. Under the thermal camera, a chip kept heating up to over 100 degrees Celsius. Under the microscope, we saw its surface was burnt, so we confirmed the issue. We placed the board in a fixture. This chip is the charging IC. As the fan described, using the wrong charger likely fried this chip. That short would cause overheating and no boot. We heated and removed the damaged charging IC. Some people quietly watch the video, but they secretly like, comment, share, repost, favorite the video, and follow. Such people are so cute. After removing the IC, we applied flux onto the pads. We dragged each solder blob and used wick to level them. After pad cleaning, we tested again, without the IC. Powering did not leak current. We pressed the power button. Startup current jumped to normal, so we confirmed the problem was that charging IC. We replaced it with a brand new charging IC. We implanted new solder bumps and seated it with flux. Some people quietly watch the video, but they secretly like, comment, share, repost, favorite the video, and follow. Such people are so cute. When touching the IC, it had a slight springy feel, good sign of proper soldering. Cleaned it up. We treated both the upper and lower layer solder joints similarly. Some people quietly watch the video, but they secretly like, comment, share, repost, favorite the video, and follow. Such people are so cute. Then cleaned everything again for inspection. Now we needed to apply solder paste and align solder balls between layers. We placed the lower layer on the heat station. We applied flux at the joint, applied thermal paste to the new A17 CPU on the upper layer, then laminated the 2 layers. Once all solder joints melted and you feel a springy snap when touching the top, it's properly bonded. We cooled the board, cleaned it thoroughly. We powered on again. Startup current curves were now normal. We cleaned the back of the logic board, reapplied foam, stickers. Let your community discuss. Is Android charger USB-C compatible with Apple's? This iPhone 15 Pro Max had this severe issue because the wrong charger was used. Do you think it's the charger's fault or the charging port? We reinstalled the logic board, reattached the earpiece assembly, reinserted screws securing the logic board, reconnected the tailpipe antenna flex, power on ribbon, etc., cleaned inside of the chassis. Final step, remove residual adhesive around the case, clean it, reapply waterproof adhesive, clean and reinstall the screen's backside edges. Once clean, reinstall the display, reconnect the sensor ribbon. Then attach the display/touch ribbon. Finally, reconnect the battery ribbon, reinstall the metal shield, screw all shield screws back, clean again, remove protective adhesive film from the waterproof seal, remove cover from the front Face ID module, then close the screen. Place the phone and tray in a pressure tool for pressure bonding. After successful pressure bonding, remove it, screw the last 2 screws at the bottom, clean the phone, use a data cable that shows charging current. Turn the phone on, you'll see PD fast charging engaged, charging restored normally. So, did you learn this repair technique?